Let's talk to Chip in Michigan. Chip, you're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Al?
Doing a worldwide transmission. Welcome.
I know you don't have all the answers, and I'm not looking for an answer. I'm just looking for suggestion. My father and I, we've watched certain videos, yours, a couple of yours, and we read similar books for the past, 15 years or so. We're on kind of the same wavelength. The other day I brought over the Obama deception, hot off the presses, as far as he's concerned, and normally we watch a video, and he'll press pause, we'll talk about it, we'll continue watching, he'll press pause periodically throughout the video, and we'll discuss it. During the Obama deception, he didn't press pause once, he sat there with his mouth open, and once in a while he'd say, wow, holy bleep. Afterwards, his first comment to me was, and I want you to know that he's 68, he's retired, so when he made this comment to me, he was referring to himself and people in his quote-unquote category, being older and retired and heavily invested in this system. His first comment to me was, the only thing Alex failed to mention was what we can do about it. And I was wondering if you could just suggest something that I could tell him and people in his, quote-unquote category of retirement.
Well, that's a very important question, but overall, it's not hype when I say this film is particularly powerful because it's so timely. It covers the master plan of the globalists, the bankers, the police state, the grid, and I think therein lies the solution. We talk about states' rights. We talk about saying no to the feds. We talk about criminally going after the bankers. We talk about everyone getting involved in their own issues and saying no to the system. I mean, it's full of solutions at the end. I'm going to have more solutions in another film I'm making to come out in about 2-3 months. But, I mean, specifically, the solution is not letting them carry out the next phase. They took control of the government. They bankrupted us. They deindustrialized us. They militarized the police. They kidnap over 1,400,000 children a year. You know, they engage in all these hard crimes. We have to recognize that evil and take abortion. You know, go out with a placard to dead babies. Sounds horrible, looks terrible. People get offended, but just folks doing that has gone from around 50% of people being for abortion to now only about 25% in all the major polls. So we're winning that fight. The truth is, if we just take, and then you save babies right there. Men and women don't need to fight with each other. We've been trained to do it in society. If you get married and have kids, you got to stick together because statistically it's going to hurt your children if you break up. Living well, the best revenge is living well, as the French say. Getting along with your neighbors, being informed, enjoying life, caring about other people. I mean, I love seeing healthy, happy people. I love seeing people do well. I love seeing people, who are creative. And I thought everybody else was like me. I didn't know that a lot of folks are like diseased mentally from Madison Avenue, and they hate seeing other people do well. You know, I mean, again, we got to get our heads screwed on right and think tribally as a human society against the elites. Instead, they all try to divide us off against each other. They're going to say, do whatever we want with the Bank of the World, with regulation, with federalization, and we'll turn the economy back on. Then they're going to give you some of the money, but then hyperinflate. And then as things get worse, they're going to say, oh, you didn't do what we said. That's why they got worse. It's designed to get worse because things getting worse are better for them. Your dad says, what do you do about it? Call the state legislature. Go for 10th Amendment resolutions. Educate local police and military. Just because you're father and you know all about this stuff doesn't mean your neighbors, your friends, or family. Number one is education, so people know the ball game they're in. They know what they're facing. They know their enemy. Okay, so there's some solutions.
Okay, I get that. I'm looking for a practical thing. He's looking at me, and he's like,
sir, there's no silver bullet. There's no one thing. I mean, I can't say you go meet a leprechaun behind the barn, and he's going to fix everything for you. It's a process.
Looking at my dad, and I'm thinking, well, what can I tell this guy? He's got a good point. He's retired. He's heavily invested in the system, and this kind of information obviously will, and rightfully so, totally shatter his reality. I mean, that would be everything to him.
The system is shattered. The New World Order built this current grid to get us decadent, get us in debt, get us under their control, so that when they finally try to pull us down, we don't swim for the surface. We go ahead and go down with the Hydra. Okay, I'll go to the bottom with you. It's the best system we've got. You know, they're destroying what they built before and bringing in their New World Order.
Right.
I mean, they've got police announcing you'll be arrested if you don't take vaccines, and then having police dogs with thousands of kids crying being injected outside sports stadiums. I mean, you know, people say, well, Hitler, you know, the Hitlerian system of 1938, I mean, you know, it looks like it's going to get bad, but it's the system I'm invested in. I don't even claim to have all the answers, but people say, well, what do I do? I mean, well, you're smart. What are you going to do?
Well, like I told you when I first called, I'm not asking for an answer. I'm looking at this old man in the face, and he wants to know what he can do. Obviously, he's not going around to rallies. He's not putting DVDs on people's windshields.
Well, why not?
You know,
listen, I appreciate your call. I appreciate your call, but I got to say this. There were people who were ship captains by the time they were 20, because people, you know, needed to get their lives going. You know, people were considered men by the time they were 12, 13, 14 years old. Now they teach you, oh, you're a kid, have fun till college. And then, oh, don't worry about things, party and have fun while you're in college. And, oh, you're a young person now trying to pay off your college debt. Get out there and make it first. And then, oh, I'm too busy with my job. And, oh, now I'm retired. I'm not involved in politics. It's a cop-out. Number one, you're not going to be fulfilled till you stand up to tyranny. You were born to fight tyranny. Tyranny's always going to be there trying to eat your lunch, trying to take over. So we're meant to build better communities. We're meant to be involved. That's why the establishment creates counterfeits of that to try to control things. And you said, well, you said I wasn't asking for an answer. You know, kind of implying I didn't give you one. You want a solution, look in the mirror. You know, what is it when I get up here and expose federal documents saying the American people are terrorists? That is a big solution, exposing how out of control they are, how tyrannical they are, how the government is arraying itself to wage war with the people and announcing regular army will be used against us. What is that? That is tyranny. So there's another solution. Expose their crimes. What did the founders do? Committees of correspondence. They exposed it.
The New World Order beast is genetically modifying your food. Genetically modifying. Mixing vegetables with animals. And now experimenting with viruses. Without a long-term food solution, you will have just two options. Starve or surrender. All canned food supplies will eventually run out. What then? Grow your own healthy food and feed your family forever. SurvivalistSeeds.com is now the nation's largest bulk heirloom seed company, and it's owned by a real patriot, Big John Lipscomb. You can now have an infinite amount of healthy vegetables like a watermelon, a bundle of carrots, or tomatoes for a little more than a penny each. SurvivalistSeeds.com. And now you can go into business with Big John at SurvivalistSeeds.com by becoming an affiliate. See his link at SurvivalistSeeds.com. SurvivalistSeeds.com.